Hello, hello. Welcome to Tech Ascent, the podcast where we dive into the trends, strategies, and success stories that are reshaping the tech landscape as we know it today. I'm your host, Oliver Clingain. I'm also the founder of Ascension, the premier biz development partner within tech. Today, we've got a fantastic guest joining us. We're joined by Seymur Rasulov, the co-founder and CEO of Whelp. Seymur, welcome to the show.
Oliver, thank you so much. I really appreciate for having me on the show. Thank you. And good luck with the show. Sounds like a great initiative because we entrepreneurs need platforms for voices to be heard, for failure and success stories to be shared. Not only failure, not only success stories, but failure stories as well. So I appreciate for the platform.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. I really look forward to diving into a conversation with you. We can kick one off by, would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and what you do with Whelp?
Yes. So we started the company in 2018, 19 officially, coming out of a personal pain point. Let me ask you this, Oliver. I bet you and the listeners and those who are watching us, have you ever called an airline or a bank or an insurance company and they put you on hold?
Always.
Yes, most of the time, right? And did you like that?
No, it's never fun.
Everybody hates that, right? So here's what happens. Every time I ask either investors or potential group of users, I say, have you been on hold? They're like, yes. I say, have you enjoyed it? They're like, no. And I say, we all hate waiting on hold. That's the same thing happened when I used to live in Dubai. I wanted to send money from Dubai to Germany and money got lost somewhere. And I was on hold with these banks, the sender bank, the recipient bank, and the correspondent bank. And when I got off the phone with them, I was like, there must be a better way to track your ticket, to address your problem. And I posted this question sort of on LinkedIn instead of Reddit. I'm old generation. And I said, there's a problem of on hold. I want to start a startup that handles that. I'm looking for a co-founder. A guy from Turkey replies, he's Azerbaijani living in Turkey, replies saying that I have the same problem. I hate being on hold. Let's build something. He's a CTO. And we start working together. I don't know the guy. He doesn't know me. I fly him to Dubai from Turkey. He comes all the way and we meet, we click, we start working 6 months down the road. We have the first MVP. And since then, we've been building products that elevate the customer experience. And we offer 360-degree customer experience platform, starting with the chatbots, with the chat AI, with the voice AI, with omnichannel inbox and shared inbox, as well as the most advanced reporting. So it comes from a personal pain point. Well, that's how we created the Whelp.
Awesome. And I always find those stories the most interesting is when companies formulate from personal pain points.
Yeah.
So sometimes there's that sense of, we'll call it shiny object syndrome in the entrepreneur space. People chase where they think the money is or where they think that success is, but sometimes you just got to look within and you'll find that the things you struggle with are things that other people struggle with.
You're absolutely right that, you know, it's funny that you mentioned it. Right now, I thought about that when we were starting the company, we never thought about money. We never thought about that, oh, how much it's gonna make us money. Now that you mentioned, I went back like a time machine to those years and months and weeks when we were building the product. I am trying to remember, we never thought about money. We never did because we were so focused on understanding the problem and building something and offering it to clients and getting some feedback. Now I'm thinking we never thought about that, how much money it would possibly or it could possibly make us. You're right.
And in that mindset, going back, when you started Whelp, entrepreneurship, it's never an easy journey. There's lots of ups and downs. What other kind of mindset advice would you give a young entrepreneur who's trying to get a company off the ground, especially in a competitive tech space?
I would say, I am 40 now. I'm 40 years old. And when I look at entrepreneurship, I would say it is something extremely beautiful. It is liberating, but at the same time, it has a lot of lonely days and a lot of self doubt, a lot of matching the ends, right? So there are a lot of things happening simultaneously with entrepreneurship. But if you ask me, would you prefer a stable, peaceful? I'll tell a quick story. When we graduated from high school, I had a very close friend. He went to become a teacher. I actually wanted to become a teacher, but then eventually I ended up going a different path. Last summer, for the first time after so many years, we met. and we were chatting, and I asked him, I said, so how you doing? How's life? He said, I'm married. I got 2 kids. I work about 35, 38 hours per week, and I take my wife for a walk. We go with my wife for a walk in the evening. I spend the weekend with my kids. I have no stress. And I'm like, man, congratulations. And he was like, so how is your life? And I said, I don't have evenings. I don't have weekends. I don't have wife. I have a kid. I have a lot of stress and I don't. And he was like, why do you do this then? And it hit me that why do we do this? I'll tell you why we do this. Because if we don't do this, there will be an itch inside us, right? And we will want to scratch it. We will want to build. If you have that itch, I call it entrepreneurial itch. If you have that itch, you gotta build. You gotta build something. Even if people are not gonna buy or pay, you still build something. If it doesn't work, build something else. I would say the advice to wanna be entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs would be like, it's gonna be really difficult. It's gonna be very exhausting, but at the same time, it's liberating. If you have the rebellious type, go for it, do it. Here's advice that I'm practically applying myself. Between do and don't, always choose the do, but never waste time in between. Either do it or don't. In my case, always do it, but never waste time in between hesitating. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Always choose to do something. Do, regret, get your hands off, apologize, move on. But at least you will know that you did it. You experienced it, you learned something, but never waste time in between.
That's a great piece of advice. I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, or even anybody in their typical day to day, they'll do something 50% effort and they don't know the real outcomes of it when they're not doing 100%. Either got to go
Exactly.
all in or go all in the other
Yeah.
way. No, it makes perfect sense. And with Whelp, obviously, it's been a journey. It came from a personal pain point to building it where it is now. What other kind of what trends are you seeing in the tech space that you think could take off in the near future?
I think voice will be a big deal. And one of our products that we're building right now, Whelp Voice AI, our slogan is let's fall in love with the voice again. Let's fall in love with the phone calls again. Right? Because phone calls were very popular in the beginning, then messaging took over, and nobody calls anymore. Everyone is texting. But I think with the voice AI, with the AI agents and voice AI becoming so responsive with the lowest latency possible, we're gonna see huge trend in terms of voice search, voice AI, voice commands, voice prompt. So that's number one. Number two, I would say we will see many people who will get things done with one or two prompts, right? And then number three, we will see people who are willing to work, who have the character, and people who are feeling entitled for things. The second category will fail no matter how knowledgeable they are. They can be the best coder, the best software engineer. If they think they're entitled, they are not willing to put their hands under the work or get the sleeves roll up and then get to work. Doesn't matter how smart they are, doesn't matter how genius they are, they're going to be one step or two step or maybe even 3 steps behind. Those who are willing to get the things done, those who are willing to take the initiative, decide and do and move forward and get ready to fail and be wrong, they will get many things done, I would say. In terms of another trend, I would say AI agents now are hyped, and it's bothering me that YC is investing a lot into these simplest plug-in AI agent software companies. Soon they will all be obsolete. They all will be like a simple app, just like you order pizza with a single button, or I don't know, there's a Ninja Slash or something, Fruit Slash or the game, right?
Fruit Ninja, Fruit
Many,
Ninja.
many AI agent applications will be like that soon. Like they'll be very simple thing. And I think right now we have the hype. But a complete solution companies offering all the components, like from voice AI to chat, from messaging to, like specifically for specific niche industries, they will be the dominant players, right? Think of this as HubSpot or Salesforce. They offer a complete solution, right? They have this and that and that and this and inside, and they are big players right now compared to those who are offering a tiny piece of it. like a feature, they went out of business. So those are the trends that I see. And I'm a big fan of voice because I gotta pick up the phone and call, and I'm happy to talk to an AI. I'm happy to talk to an AI as long as the knowledge base is very rich, right? It has the data and it can be personalized. If the AI says, "Hey Seymour, recognize from my number," I would love to continue conversation with that. I don't care is that AI or live agent, as long as I can get things done with the lowest latency.
Fantastic. And being the co-founder CEO of Whelp, how are you getting ahead of that trend?
We are constantly three things. Number one, I'm always spying on our competitors. I'm booking demo calls with them. I'm pretending to be a customer. I have opened a company email that I sign up for demos, for their webinars. I'm constantly gathering sort of an intelligence data, right? I'm constantly spying on them, number one. Number two, we're building that ecosystem components, right? We have the static chatbot, we have the dynamic AI messaging, we have the voice AI, we have the omni-channel inbox, and the goal is to make sure that they seamlessly work together. I'll give you an example. Oliver picks up the phone, calls an insurance company, wants to get a quote. Oliver talks to voice AI through us, and the voice AI has a rich knowledge base, answers Oliver's questions, and sends and says, "Oliver, your insurance quote is ready. I will text it to you if you want to the number that you called." Oliver says yes. So the AI triggers a text message if you are in the US, or triggers a WhatsApp message if you are outside the US and you receive a text message. The text message has your quote, but at the bottom it has a link that if you have any questions, please chat with us. So you can click on that and start chatting with our AI, Messenger AI, or you can reply to the same SMS and continue. And then at some point you say, "I have a specific question which is not covered by AI. I want to talk to Live Agent." You request Live Agent and you connect to Live Agent, and then Live Agent says, "Wonderful, we're gonna call you back," or "There's a wait line, I will call you back," and then they call you back and then complete the transaction online, let's just say. So as you can see, this 360-degree customer experience platform, right? That's what we are doing with Whelp, because we know that if I go to a company and sell them just a messaging, they will say, "Do you have the voice?" And I'll say, "No." They'll say, "Can you integrate to our existing voice?" And I'll say, "We have to talk to them. They have to talk to us." No. Instead, we offer them a complete solution.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I'm sure that's a big reason why Whelp has grown so quickly over the past couple of years.
We are growing. Yes, we are growing. We have more than 130 customers right now, and we did the 2024 with 3.4 million ARR. We are profitable. We're not profitable like millions of dollars, but we are profitable with given the fact that we're comfortable with the money. The one of the biggest things for us is to not grow like this, but grow like this. And we want to accelerate in the next 3 years and go towards the successful exit. So we have to do that, and the team knows that. So everybody in the team is aware of that. That is our North Star, sort of.
Awesome. And that's a great North Star. And with that, it's obviously, you mentioned you spy on your competitors. There's a big influx in the technology space. People are hopping on different trends. How are you going about kind of differentiating yourself in such a competitive space?
Oliver, I like this question. I get this question a lot from investors, and I have a different stand on this. I have a different position on this. And the position I have is that I don't want to compete with them. That will be very naive and foolish of me to compete with the Facebook, with the Zendesk, with Intercom. They are unicorn companies, right? I don't want to compete. I can't even compete with them. Their entire marketing budget per quarter is next of my entire marketing budget, I bet. But here's the magical part. I want to, and we are doing operations in that direction. I want to grow in the regions, in the verticals, in the geographies that they are not growing or they have never noticed it yet. So that eventually, at some point, when their appetite is big, they want to come to certain parts of Madagascar and come to Africa, come to Latin America, come to Southeast Asia, and say, "Who is the dominant player here? I want to be that guy that they will want to acquire." They will say, "You have been growing fast in Malaysia. We have no presence there. We want to buy you." So instead of competing with them, I want to be in those territories that they have not stepped in yet. So when they step in, they'll say, who's the biggest player here? And I'll raise my hand, I'll say, us. And they'll say, okay, how much is it? So that is the strategy that we have.
And it sounds like a great strategy. And Seymur, we're coming up on the time here, so we can start to wrap it up. Typically, my last question I ask for founders and CEOs is, what's the vision? What's the future for their company? We've kind of already answered that in a certain way. So I'm going to propose a different question. Moving forward, what's on kind of your agenda? What skill are you trying to level up as an entrepreneur, as a leader? What's your skill? What's your mindset that you want to kind of improve?
I'm constantly on the investor calls right now. We're raising 5 million as Series A, and I am seeing that every investor call is teaching me something. The moment you stop learning is the moment you are regressing, is you're losing, right? But if you go to every single call with open mind, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from my peers? What can I learn from other founders, other entrepreneurs? That is when you have a growth mindset. That means even if you're not raising, you're definitely getting some sort of investment. That investment may not be a term sheet, but you're getting investment as knowledge, as experience, as connections, as network. I would say my next big thing is continuously learning and becoming better, because like I said, there's no end point of this thing, right? You constantly learn, you constantly add new skills to your skill set. And for me is to get better feedback from them, keep improving, keep learning, keep getting better, and hopefully pass it down to peer entrepreneurs and other founders.
Fantastic, fantastic. And for the entrepreneurs out there listening, if you combine that piece of advice, you're constantly learning, as well as Seymur's earlier advice of either do it or don't, I think you're going to be on a track record for success.
Hopefully, hopefully the watchers and the viewers and listeners will find this content useful.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. And I want to give you a personal thank you, Seymur. Thank you so much for coming on the show, giving us your time. And I'm sure, and I know the audience appreciates it as well.
Oliver, thank you so much for having me.